North Street in Toronto turned out to be a figment, naturally. There had, of course, once been a North Street which became Yonge Street, then Highway 11, and mythic references declare it to be the longest street in the whole world. Sure, if you start walking from right there, you'll eventually end up at the North Pole, the saying went, from old liars who sat on the pavement, chewing tobacco and remembering stories of the gold rush from scores of years ago, which was true of anywhere else in the world. Just start from here, they say in Dingle on the west coast of Ireland, and walk straight, and eventually you'll emerge at the North Pole itself. From here, they say in Ankara. Actually, to be completely precise about it, from that exact spot over at that side of the broken bridge where the old market starts. From Edinburgh, you walk south, down the coastal road through North Berwick and onto Northumberland, or alternatively inland down through these lovely borders towns, Galashiels, Jedburgh, Hawick, and on to Carter Bar, where you can see the whole of England, and therefore the whole of the world, before you. Despite Ludo's assertion, North Street, then Yonge Street, and now Highway 11, was not one long, flat, straight road to the end of the cowboy film. It may one time have held the saloon and the leaning awnings and the girls in parasols waiting for their men to come back from the Yukon, but now it was a complex shopping centre with malls and escalators and lifts, a world going up and down as much as along. No longer could men stand at the end of the long linear street, shielding their eyes from the sun, and see Old Smokin' Joe, or maybe old Dingo Johnny Blue, or perhaps even Buckskin Bill himself, come straight out of the north loaded with gold. Now they came texting out of the glass lifts in the sky, laden with alternative gold from the global mines. The old story has it that Archie, tired of the north wind, sought to extinguish it. He built a house, then a wall, then a doubling wall, and fences and hedge barriers, but the whining whistle of the winter wind still filtered through. The more he refused to listen, the louder it roared. So he planted a forest to the north side, then dug deep to establish a lake to absorb some of the wind's force, then another thick forest on the far side, but as he lay in bed in those long January nights, he could hear the whole world move. Was that a sparrow somewhere to the north? Impossible, in the depths of winter. Maybe it was to the south, with a swirling gale carrying it through the barriers, to sound as if it was coming from the north. He looked out the attic window where the universe was quiet and white in the snow. Lying back in bed, he listened again. The sound of breathing downstairs where his wife rested, the distant throb of a television in his son's bedroom. How loudly the snowflakes fell in his window. Years ago in a geography book in school, he was told that the snow came from the east. Born in Siberia, it travelled across Russia like an army, recruiting flakes to fall gently on those western shores as a soft blanket on a bed, pure and pristine and white. Virginal, they called it then, which now seemed such an archaic world, in a world where everyone was born knowing.